People can't take oppression. They can't take it. You know, they can actually take starvation and hunger more easily than they can take oppression. So it's going to go one way or another. So we have to have these outlets. And I believe one of the great outlets is dawah. That's why I'm so, passionate about getting our youth involved in dawah. Getting out there, doing something useful, getting involved in these activities, right? Because they know that they are engaged positively. And they will tell good stories in their heads about themselves. I'm doing something useful. And they will also realize that, by the way, they're not all evil, these non-Muslims. Because many people, maybe they're thinking that, right? But when you're engaging with people, you're giving dawah, most of the people who come back, you say, you know what? There's so many nice people out there. They're ready to listen. They're ready to talk. So this is very important. We need to give these positive outlets. We shouldn't allow ourselves to be intimidated. I don't think any of us want to see any of our kids running off and joining ISIS, or even if they destroy ISIS, the next group is going to be even worse. Because it just gets worse, right? They don't get better, they just get worse, right? So, again, I'm saying something about ISIS which I don't know, but going from what we can see. So, these are very important subjects, brothers and sisters. So, Jazakallah. Alhamdulillah.
So, I think we're pretty much out of time. I'll open it up to the sisters if they've got one last question.
Yes.
But I find how to initiate, how to start.
Yes.
The white woman is sitting next to me. She would like to talk about weather, about something.
Yeah.
How shall I start? What word I should use?
Well, that's a very good point. And it depends on the conversation, but you're right. Many conversations will be about the weather, right? About the weather. But I think, you see, the weather, for example, allows you to introduce a discussion about systems, how everything works according to patterns, how amazing the system is that we have that allows the seasons and the winds and the rainfall. It's not just something random. Right? Although maybe living in England it all looks really random. That's the problem. But it certainly isn't. So I'm just saying is that, and then from that you can talk about, it shows that there must be a creator. If we have systems, there must be something that made these systems, right? So there's always a way to turn a conversation, or you could just ask, the weather, it's very interesting, but did you ever think about what's the purpose of life? I know it sounds like, but really, yeah. You just, sister, you know what? It's like, if anyone's been swimming, and if anyone when they went swimming, went to those diving boards, right? The diving boards, right? When you stand on the diving board and you look, right? The more you look, the deeper and the higher and the worse it seems. Yeah. So even when you can do this dive, yeah, it's actually, you've seen little kids jumping off, right? I can do that, but you stand there and you look more, and the more you look, the scarier it gets. It's like that. Sometimes you just have to,
especially when you know how to swim.
Yeah, that's true. You want to learn how to swim first. But I could tell you a story. Yeah. I could tell you a story of mashallah. Anyway, I won't tell you the story.
Okay. We're going to have to call it close there.
Sister, make dua. That's the best thing. When I get stuck, I say, Ya Allah, please help.